meeting of Industry and the Finance Minister on the 16th of December. Now, the Delhi High Court has given 6 months to the government to take a decision on extending Cain India's production sharing contract in Rajasthan. Ashmit joins us now with the details. Ashmit, this back and forth has been on for 3 years, and finally the Delhi High Court telling the government that it needs to take a decision.
Indeed, a rap on the knuckles as far as the government is concerned. The High Court making its message quite crisp and clear that the government cannot operate in a vacuum, that it has to take a call, serving it with a 6-month deadline. Now, at the heart of the issue is a production sharing contract that Cain India entered into in the year 1995, due to expire in the year 2020. And essentially, their prayer is that they are seeking a 10-year extension to that production sharing contract. Now, their argument essentially is, which they forwarded before the High Court, that the government is bound by the production sharing contract, that the PSC clearly provides that in case that there is commercial production, which there is, commercial production began back in the year 2009. In such a scenario, the government would then be bound under the contract to go ahead and to renew it and to extend it. The only subject matter that could be considered would be for what period. That's the bone of contention as per Cain India. That's the only issue that is open to discretion here. The government, of course, sought to defend its position, arguing that the only reason that the decision has not been taken yet is because sufficient and necessary documents by Cain India have not been made available. Now, this argument did not cut much ice with the Delhi High Court. The High Court held that the decision needs to be taken on a time-bound basis, that the government cannot operate in a vacuum, and towards that end, a 6-month deadline is now what the government is looking at, and that should add a certain degree of finality, certainty, as far as Cain India and its plans are concerned with respect to the Barmer fields in Rajasthan.
Okay, Ashmit, thanks very much for joining us. In fact, let's stay with that story. The chips are down, but Cain India refuses to go down without a fight. Cain's troubles include a crash in crude prices, a 20,495 crore rupee tax demand, a 3-year-long wait for the government to take a decision to extend its production sharing contract for the prolific Rajasthan oil field, as Ashmit was pointing out, and a pending controversial merger with Vedanta. Nentara travelled to Cain India's Rajasthan oil fields to check if Cain India has the appetite to invest more in the current scenario.
We're coming to you from the prolific Barmer oil fields of Cain India's and ONGC's in Rajasthan. Currently, the joint venture is producing 176,000 barrels a day, and it's got plans to enhance that a lot more. It's launched the Enhanced Oil Recovery Program, or EOR. Already, it's led to an incremental production of about 11%. Cain India has already invested $6 billion at Barmer to develop the country's largest oil-producing field. In the last 5 years, the company's paid $11 billion to the Central Exchequer and the Rajasthan state government in the form of royalties, duties and cess. And after 3 years of back and forth with the centre, Cain India has now moved the Delhi High Court to get clarity from the government on extending its production sharing contract for the Barmer fields. While you ask for timely extension, the government, and it's got the opinion of the Solicitor General as well, that it can revise the financial terms of this contract. We understand the Rajasthan government, and they're on record with us, that they want to increase the royalty that Cain India pays. How do you react to all of that? Are you interested in extension if the financial aspect of the contract will be rewritten?
The extension, it's not what I think, it's what the contract says. So this contract is very specific and unique, and it's very properly prescribed, and ONGC board has also been on the record that it should be extended for 10 years without change in terms and conditions.
After buying out Cain India from its former promoter Cain Energy, the Anil Agarwal-led Vedanta had promised former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh a daily production of 500 barrels. If Cain is to come even close to achieving that, it will have to rely on its recently launched Enhanced Oil Recovery, or the EOR program, on which it's already spent $500 million. In layman terms, EOR basically means getting every bit of oil out of a well. Imagine if your hands are dirty and you wash it with water, all of the dirt is not going to come out. But if you wash it with soap, all of the dirt should come out. And that's exactly what Cain India is doing with its EOR. I've got Divya here with me. So what Cain India is doing, and what I understand is, it's injecting 400,000 barrels of polymers every day in 141 wells. These, in fact, are the polymers. And if you look at the polymers that Divya showed me, very sticky, very much like soap, being used to get every bit of oil out of a well. While the recent crash in crude prices is weighing in on companies like Cain, the company says it's not perturbed and will continue to invest approximately $350 million annually till prices start to recover. In Barmer, Rajasthan, Nantara Rai. Well, now let's head to Deal Street. M&M and Tech Mahindra is all set to acquire a car